the SunSource. Everybody, their eyes, the eyebrows lift up every time Ricky mentions it to him. I know he's excited about it.
Absolutely. Not only is the solar air conditioning very exciting, but the unique thing that Lennox has done with this is when your air conditioner cycles off, you're powering part of the electrical usage of your home, your refrigerator and lights, and you're not wasting any of the solar power that you generate. And it's all done through your air conditioning system. So it's a very unique concept, and Lennox has really gone out, spent the money, done the research, and put a product out here that is just, cutting edge and very exciting.
Joseph, add to that.
Yeah, that's right. Here's where we're at with Lennox. We've made it the easiest way for a homeowner to take steps to be energy independent. When you open up your electric bill, take a look at that bottom line, whatever you're being charged, about 60% of that comes from heating and air. And the number one reason why someone wants to choose what air conditioner or heat pump they're going to put in their home is based on how energy efficient it is. And we've seen manufacturers do all kinds of things, make a really tall unit, put 2 compressors in a unit, make a special motors to make it more energy efficient. And we're at a point now where, we're going to have a unit bigger than a house if we continue down this trend. So we started doing our research several years ago. We looked into it, and we thought, why not solar? It makes sense. When your air conditioner is running, use solar. So we developed the simplest way to add solar to a home. It's plug and play. It goes right into the outdoor unit, your heat pump or your air conditioner, just like Ricky said. But what we did is we went a step farther. We thought, well, what if the sun is shining, your air conditioner is not running? What do we do with the power? Do we want to stack your garage with batteries? No. What we're going to do is that's going to go right back through the electrical outlet that your air conditioner is plugged into, and it's going to power the rest of your home. So there's no wasted energy. And then what happens if nothing else is needed? It goes right back to the grid, possibly giving you some credit. And you could open your utility bill and have a credit.
I think with us not being set up on that kind of grid down here where we could sell it back to a power supplier, it was more exciting to be to hear that it could power the refrigerator or any other electrical appliance.
That's right.
I'm selfish. I wanted to help me in my house.
Hey, I'm with you, Scott. I was driving down the road the other day, and I seen a bumper sticker that said, I heart my carbon footprint. I about laughed myself off the road. To me, what's exciting about this is energy independence. Utility bills are going to continue to rise. And here's another thing. The cost of solar panels are going down. I mean, they're cheaper than ever, and they're projected to continue to go down. So even if it doesn't make sense today, here's what's great about it. It's solar ready. So whenever we put in a unit today, you want to add some solar panels to make it more efficient, we can do that. If it doesn't make sense to do that with your budget today, we could come back next year and add some.
Hey, now there's ways to offset that upfront expense, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let Ricky take that one.
Yes, Scott. There's actually 3 tax credit issues that are working with this product. First off, the HVAC equipment is Energy Star rated. It starts off at a 17 SEER system, and it qualifies for a $1,500 tax credit from the federal government if you just put in a solar-ready equipment with no panels.
Good start.
So you get $1,500 there. If you go into the solar side of it, you have a 30% federal tax credit plus a 35% state tax credit, which is 65%. To offset the cost of the solar panels, plus $1,500. So it's really the time to get involved while the government is giving these tax credits, and most all of us end up paying taxes.
All right, but once this thing's in, say I got the full panel array, what's the max?
15 panels is the most that you can run on one system, simply because of the amount of electricity that you'll be sending back to the house when the air conditioning shuts off. Has to be matched up to the wiring capabilities of that unit. It's very simple and very effective.
All right, but I want big savings then. If I got 15 panels up there, say my bill's $250 every single month normally, then I put this system in. Is it a big save? Is it a 10%er, a 20%er? Am I getting back 50% of my investment?
Well, with an XC21, which is a 21 SEER air conditioner that is solar ready with 15 modules, in our region of the country, you can generate 91% annually of the electricity that air conditioning system would use.
91% savings, yeah. You will notice a difference.
That's a monster.
Yeah, 91%.
All right, it's worth it.
Energy independence. So the key is it solar ready? When it's time to replace, are you getting a solar ready unit? Can you plug solar into it today or down the road? Next time you get a hike, that's the key.
Yeah, and Georgia Power, I imagine everybody that's opened their power bill for the month of June realizes that we've had a pretty hot summer. It got started very early. And I think you had something on your program, Scott, about a week ago about the Georgia Power rate increases that they petitioned the Public Service Commission for. Well, they've also petitioned for, I think, 5 additional raises over the next 3 years.
Wow. And they get them every time, no resistance.
Right. And they slap their hands and talk ugly about them, and then they give them their pay raise, their rate increase. Of course, it costs more to generate, it's just business. But if you can generate some of your own electricity and offset that high energy cost, which, like you said earlier, 56-60% of your utility bill in June was your air conditioner, or more if you have a 20-year-old system. So it's a very unique concept that's been in the making for a long time, and it's simple enough and cost-effective enough for the...
Finally.
Yeah,
finally.
Here's the thing, too, Scott. We're not talking about big, giant, bulky-looking things hanging off your roof. These are real slimline, plug-and-play, very simple. I would encourage you to go to Lennox.com, click on the residential link, click on solar, take a look at these. We've got images up there. We've got a video that shows you how it works. You'll be impressed when you look at it.
And one thing they've done also, Scott, is Joe and I can tell you all these beautiful numbers, but Lennox has incorporated a way that you can actually go online and look at the daily output of each panel on your roof individually. When we put this system in, we put in a communication module, and you can actually go in online and look at your house and the output that it had on each individual panel each day. So you know how many kilowatts of electricity you're generating.
Hey, do I call you guys if one of them's not pulling their weight?
Yeah, exactly. That's
what we do. Exactly what you do. And that's actually what's unique about the Lennox Solar Ready solar, because each individual solar module has its own inverter built into it. So unlike some of the older solar that you heard about that didn't make sense, because if one of them became shaded or one of them didn't work, then the whole array went out. With this one, if one is shaded, you still are generating power from the rest of them. And to Ricky's point, you can go right online, or we've got an iPhone app coming out, pull it up on your iPhone and say, hey, this is how much energy I'm producing today, this week, this year. And you can see if there's an issue or a problem. And there's a lot of people who kind of had a bad taste in their mouth over solar, because if something would go wrong, they wouldn't know about it because they have no way of monitoring it. And with the Lennox Solar Ready, we include 5 years of that service with the system. So for the next 5 years, you're going to be able to go online anytime, monitor that, see exactly what you're producing. And to your point, Scott, if there's a problem, give us a call.
Yeah, and Joe and Ricky both, I think solar and this 5 years ago would not be viable. Today it sounds like it's totally viable. Nobody wanted to go through the trouble and the expense and the panels for 10% savings. And that's kind of what solar was over the past years. This sounds like it's time. It sounds like it's finally arrived.
You're right. We're here. It makes sense, especially with all the money that's out there on a federal, state level. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, is that money going to go away? Do we have this year alone, or is there more time?
Well, that's another good point to mention, Scott, is at the end of this year, that tax credit for your heating and air will go out. So if you're sitting at home and you've got an older air conditioner or heat pump, it's time to give us a call, because that's going to go away. But the solar tax credits are going to continue another 2 years. So that's 15%, that's no cap, and that's going to continue to be available.
Gotcha. Costs a little more up front, but there's some tax breaks. There's $1,500. There's 65%. excuse me, and it starts returning that money to you each and every day that it's operating.
Right.
All right. Joe, I appreciate your input this morning. Lennox.com,
I
right?
appreciate it.
Yeah, Lennox.com.
All right. Anybody that wants to find out more, contact Ricky Rowe or hit that website right there. Be educated before you go sit down in front of him. Or don't, and he'll educate you as well. Sure, thank you.
Good. I appreciate it, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
With Lennox, Joseph Jones checking in this morning. Ricky Rowe sitting down in front of us with a very exciting new prospect and energy savings for all of us. Solar now sounds viable.